Video that we're doing today, your life has every level of the Illuminati. Lock the fuck in.
Level 1, the broken recruit. You're at rock bottom. Your bank account shows negative $400. You lost your job 3 months ago. There's an eviction notice taped to the door. You have 3 days. You have no friends, no family, and your credit cards are maxed out. You have nothing left. You're done. You open your mailbox. There's just one heavy envelope, but it has no address. You open it. Inside is a single card. Purpose and prosperity await if you give yourself.
Not gonna lie, if I'm at rock bottom, I'm more than likely gonna end up taking it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. If I'm at rock bottom, people don't fuck with me, ain't got no money, about to get evicted. I'm like, let's do it. You see me, I was just curious about somebody that tried to fucking text me anonymously.
Up completely. Send a message to this phone number if you are ready. You stare at it. This is insane. It's probably a scam, but you have nothing left to lose.
I like how I literally just said it earlier. This is probably a scam. Let me try to do this.
You send the message and go to sleep. Level 2, the apprentice. You wake up the next morning. There's an email in your inbox. It's from Goldman Sachs. They're offering you a job, junior analyst, but you never applied. You don't even have a finance degree. The email says you start tomorrow. You show up and you have no idea what you're doing. But every time you're stuck, your phone buzzes. It's a message from an unknown number. It tells you exactly what to do, which reports to read, which meetings to attend, which executives to impress. You follow the instructions and you rise fast. 6 months in, you're already getting promoted. Your coworkers hate you. You think you're kissing up, but they have no idea you're being controlled by the illusion.
There you go. There it is. Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. So far, this shit sound good. I have no complaints. 10 out of 10. Would recommend.
Illuminati. 1 year in, you're making $300,000. You buy a car, a watch, and a nice apartment in Manhattan. You're
You gotta have that really on your wrist when you're fucking with the Illuminati.
not struggling anymore. You're thriving. But late at night, your phone buzzes again. New instructions. The message from your contact is cold. Remember who built you. Remember who owns you. Level 3, the spy. You get a text. It's an invitation. A charity gala at the Plaza Hotel. Black tie. You're not important enough to be invited to something like this. But your name is on the list, and you go. The room is full of power. Senators, CEOs.
I'm not gonna lie at this point, bro. So boom, right? You got the money. You know what I'm saying? You got the money, you got the power, you got what you need, you know? And then you get this text out of nowhere. Remember who owns you. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of scary, chat. But in my case, I'm just gonna think it's probably like her crazy ex-girlfriend, you know? Remember who built you! I built this shit, brick by brick!
CEOs, old money families. You're told to mingle. You meet a congressman's daughter. She's 26. Harvard Law. She likes you. You exchange numbers, you meet for coffee, then drinks, and eventually dinner. She talks. You listen. She tells you about her father's Congress work, about the bills he's pushing, about the donors who are...
I'm not gonna lie, this animation is crazy as fuck. What do you mean we have 2D like line people with real hair? This is fucking... I'm not gonna lie, it's very interesting though, but this is crazy as fuck animation.
Are pressuring him. You take mental note and you report everything back. The unknown number replies, "Good work. We are very impressed." Your phone buzzes with...
You boner, they're like, bad work! Bad Illuminati, man.
New instructions. Attend this event. Befriend this person. Ask about this topic.
So basically, right now he's portraying the Illuminati as basically the fucking CIA. This is exactly what the CIA does, bro. This is like fucking basically an animated story of John Kiriakou. You know, like this is basically, hey, we're gonna send you to this place. You need to pretend to be this. You need to befriend this person. You know. But hey, okay, Illuminati is just fucking, you know, underground CIA.
Not selling stocks anymore.
Or at least so far.
You're collecting confidential information. You're building a network.
Wait a fucking minute. I swear to God, at the end of this video, they're just trying to say that Jeffrey Epstein was in fucking Illuminati, and he was like this Illuminati CIA agent. Like I think it's starting to click for me, bro. Well, if this is the direction we're going, I fucking called it.
You're a node in a system you don't fully understand, but you're moving up fast. Level 4, the Insider. You're the Vice President of Investment Strategy at Goldman Sachs now. You have an office with a view, you have your own team of secretaries, you have direct access to the senior partners. Your phone buzzes constantly now. The messages are more specific, more demanding. Buy these stocks before the announcement. Sell these before the crash. Steer this deal towards this outcome. You're not just gathering information anymore, you're acting on
I love the ponder, the look of ponder. Smug look of ponder.
it. You're insider trading on a massive scale, and you're manipulating markets. You make a recommendation in a meeting, the firm follows it, and 3 days later, the market moves exactly as predicted. You make the firm $100 million, and you pocket $2 million for yourself. No one questions how you knew. They think you can predict the future or something. But your
Also, at some point, though, like, if you're, like, accurately trading to that degree, I do understand that, you know, there are a lot of tools that can help people trade nowadays, a lot of analytics. But if you're fucking that active with trading, and you just made your company like fucking tens of millions of dollars and you're pocketing $2 million, at that point, wouldn't they like start investigating you for insider trading? Like, wouldn't there be some fucking forms of sign? Damn, did I just get dyslexic? Wouldn't there be some signs that you would be participating in insider trading?
Tax tell you what's going to happen before it happens. You're not working for Goldman. You're working for the Illuminati. You've never met them in person. You don't know their names, but you follow their orders. You trigger crashes, create rallies, you build generational wealth during this chaos. You also engineered to crash the tech sector last week. Billions of dollars shifted. Thousands of people lost their retirement savings.
Holy shit, this motherfucker single-handedly crashing and shit. How the fuck, bro? I don't know, I'm not gonna get too caught up in the scenario, but it's like, how the fuck do you crash the tech industry stocks? Like, how would you single-handedly make them lose billions?
But you slept fine. You bought a penthouse in Malibu. You drive a Bentley, and you just got invited to Davos. You've become an asset, and a very important one. Level 5, the Ghost. Your phone rings. It's not a text this time, it's a call. The voice is old, authoritative, powerful. You've been selected for a new assignment. Politics. You're being pulled out of finance. You're now a campaign strategist. They give you a name, Senator Richard Ashford. He's running for re-election in Ohio. He's been a member for 12 years, and the Illuminati need him. You receive a wire transfer, $15 million.
God damn, boy, they hit you with 15 mil. Yeah, hey, fuck it, sign me up. Where are you? Illuminati, streamer Chef Mondo here. Hit my line.
Completely untraceable. Your job is simple. Make him win. You move to Columbus to meet the senator. He knows who you really work for. He's been one of them for years. You rebuild his campaign from the ground up. You hire the best consultants, you buy television ads in every market, and you run brutal attacks against his opponent. You hit him hard and dig up the dirt. An affair from 20 years ago. A drunk driving arrest that was buried.
I love those commercials where it's basically like when they're running campaigns like for president's elections or fucking whatever type of election that's going on. And it's not like, they don't run campaigns going like, oh, I would be good to be the president for this reason. They'd be like, Jeff Spicoli. Jeff Spicoli murdered children. Jeff Spicoli masturbated in an alley when he was 10. Jeff Spicoli. You can't trust Jeff Spicoli. And then out of nowhere, they're like, John Morgs for senator. And it's like this guy's shit. Like they just shit on each other, you know?
And you leak it all to the press. The senator's opponent is destroyed. And on election night,
Did you hear about the Palm Beach Pete theory? Yes, I did, about how they think essentially that Palm Beach Pete is Jeffrey Epstein living a double-edged life. And basically, like, he didn't kill himself, and like he just, you know, went into this life as Palm Beach Pete. And since they're both from the same area, you know, they've got to be the same guy. However, I truly think that they just look alike. That's the way I feel.
Ashford wins by a landslide. You get a message. Well done. 2 weeks later, you're given another name. A gubernatorial race in Florida. Then a congressional race in Nevada. You're not running just one campaign. You're running 6. You are a ghost. Your name never appears in public filings, but you're shaping elections across the country. You're installing senators, governors, congressmen. They all owe their careers to you, which means they all owe their careers to the Illuminati.
If you look at the on YouTube, Jeffrey Epstein once upon a time was basically doing fishing content, and now that he's doing fishing content, he was doing fishing content. You can look at Palm Beach Pete, who's doing the same thing, which kind of proves that they are the same person. It could be, you know, it could be. I don't personally believe the theory, but they definitely could be. They could definitely be the same person. Then again, the motherfucker did have millions and billions, so he definitely could just said opted out into a double normal life, and like puts on a fucking voice anytime he gets on. Puts on a voice anytime he gets onto like media, where like someone walks up to him and be like, "You're fucking Jeffrey Epstein." He's like, "What? I'm not Jeffrey Epstein."
Level 6, the Puppet Master.
Level 6.
Your candidate just won the presidency, but your job isn't over. You draft the legislation that they introduce. Voting guidelines, tax codes. You're not writing speeches anymore. You're writing the law. A bill passes in Texas that privatizes part of the state's energy grid. The Illuminati own the companies that win the contracts. A bill passes in Pennsylvania.
Do y'all think BlackRock is Illuminati? It's just making me feel like at this point that if it's the big ass companies with like tech and like, you know, like fucking AI and shit, could BlackRock just be a part of it? BlackRock is like one of the biggest fucking investment companies like across the world.
That changes regulations. Labor costs drop, your friends make millions. You are invisible, but your impact is national. Hundreds of millions of people are feeling the effects of decisions you're...
Who was the original person that created the very first financial company? That is a good question. Let's find the fuck out. Who created the very first financial company? The very first formal institution in the U.S. is generally considered to be the Bank of North America, chartered in 1781 by the Continental Congress to fund the American Revolution, with Alexander Hamilton serving as a key figure in forming the financial structure of the nation. Another significant first was the first Bank of the United States, established in 1791, also driven by Hamilton. So early U.S. financial institution highlights 1781, the Bank of North America, which I guess that fucking Bank of America. 1784, the Bank of New York, founded by Alexander Hamilton, and the Bank of Massachusetts are founded. 1791, the first Bank of the United States is established in Philadelphia. In 1816, the Philadelphia Savings Fund Society, or PSFS, begins operation, often cited as the first saving banks in the U.S. I guess my second question would be, who created the stock market? Stock market. The first official stock market was created by the Dutch East Indian Company. Didn't them niggas move slaves? I could be tweaking, but I'm pretty sure them niggas moved slaves. In Amsterdam in 1602. To fund risky maritime voyages, the company issued the first ever publicly traded shares and bonds, creating a permanent secondary market. This innovation allowed individuals to buy and sell ownership, establishing the modern stock exchange model. Holy shit! Damn, that's another thing for another day. Fuck, that just gave me an idea for my own shit.
Making
like
back
a fucking
rooms
ton
and
of
private
bricks.
dinners. You're also invited to a compound in Montana. It's your first in-person meeting. There are 12 people in the room. You recognize 3 of them. A former Secretary of State, a billionaire tech founder, and a media mogul. They don't introduce themselves. They don't need to. They tell you you're doing excellent work. They tell you you're ready for the next phase. International operations. Level 7, the Shadow. You're not in...
Bro, like, I love how this motherfucker's just gradually getting corrupted to hell and back. Like we started off with like a guy that was like fucked up down bad, and it's like, oh, we'll get you out the mud. Now this motherfucker is just becoming like fucking corrupt. Like fucking corrupt.
in politics anymore. You're in intelligence. Mossad, the CIA, MI6. You don't
MI6.
work for these agencies, you work with them. You coordinate classified operations
Can you imagine that? Like a CIA dude trying to check you. Like, you can't do that, bitch. I don't work for you. I work with you. That's a player.
that change history forever. You're given a country, hypothetically, let's say Venezuela. The president is not cooperating. He's nationalizing oil assets and he's threatening to sell oil to China. But this is unacceptable. You coordinate a regime change. You don't fly to Venezuela. You make phone calls, you arrange meetings, you move money. $10 million to opposition groups, $5 million to military generals willing to defect, $2 million to journalists to spread the right narratives. You orchestrate protests, create food shortages by disrupting supply chains. You make the country unstable, and you make the president look weak. 6 months later, there's a coup. The president flees and a new leader takes power. A leader who's been on your payroll for 3 years now. You've just orchestrated the transfer of $30 billion.
Bro, I swear, this really feels like there's just the Epstein route. Like I even feel like the fucking character looks like Epstein. I'm telling you, bro. I know some of the details are getting fuzzy, but I'm just feeling that way.
And wealth. You're not a spy. You're a coordinator of chaos, and you are
I'm an agent of chaos. Chaos control.
extremely good at it. Level 8, the Supreme Magus. You're not just powerful now, you're mythical. You're a near godlike figure within the Illuminati. You're one of the 12. You have a title, Supreme Magus, and you wield unbelievable power. You foresee trends, alter destinies, and even own an island in the Caribbean. Not a vacation home.
Yo, I'm not fucking tripping. This video is low-key about Jeffrey Epstein. You tell an island? You fucking, now you have an island? Bro, this is fucking a Jeffrey Epstein video. Nobody cannot tell me this is not what this is.
Though, a compound. You fly powerful guests there. Princes, presidents, billionaires. They come for the parties, the luxury, the secrecy. But you're recording everything.
See that? Hold on. What's the meme? Seen the kid? Seen the little kid in the background of the drawing? I'm not crazy.
Conversation, every compromising moment, and every dark indulgence. You have the footage, you have the leverage. These people are now yours, forever. They will vote the way you tell them to vote. They will pass the laws you tell them to pass. They will make the deals you tell them to make, or the footage goes public. You don't threaten them directly. You don't need to. Everyone knows. But there's a problem. Investigations into you are beginning. A journalist in Miami is asking questions about your island, about the flight logs, about the guests. The FBI has opened a preliminary inquiry. It's nothing serious. Not yet. But it's a crack in the armor. You make a phone call, and the journalist's editor kills the story. The FBI agent leading the inquiry is reassigned. You've been protected. For now. Level 9. The Architect. You don't just advise the order anymore. You enforce its will. A company isn't cooperating. They won't adopt the laws the order wants. You don't ask twice. You tank their stock. You call in their loans. You destroy their reputation. Within a month, they're begging for mercy. You give them new terms, and they gladly accept. A politician is resisting, but you don't debate him. You have a spy in his office. You know about his mistress, and you have many juicy recordings. You even know about the offshore account. So, you send him a folder. No message inside, just the evidence. He changes his vote the very next day. You operate from your mansion in Palm Beach now. You host gatherings where the most powerful people in the world sit in your living room. They drink your wine.
Some of the most powerful people in the world do not have that shit on. L fucking fit.
Discuss the future, and they make deals in secret. You also know that federal agents are watching your mansion, and they're building a case against you. But you're not concerned? The Illuminati's connections run deep. Judges, prosecutors, directors. You have no fear. You are untouchable. Level 10, the Illuminated. You're blackmailing entire countries now. A country needs a loan? You give it to them. But there are conditions, favors, deals,
Damn, that's some strong shit that one person can give a fucking loan to a country.
bribes that need to be made to benefit your network. They refuse? The loan is denied. Their economy collapses and their currency crashes. Then they come back begging and they accept all the conditions. You've just enslaved an entire nation, economically speaking. You have spies everywhere, in governments, in corporations, in media organizations. You have blackmail on every politician who matters. But there's a new problem. Betrayal from within. One of the 12 is talking. You don't know who, But there are leaks. Federal eyes are watching your every move. Gatherings you host, the people who attend, you're still protected. The network is strong.
Oh no.
The walls are closing in. Level 11, the Grand Master. You control vast networks now. You don't manage one country, you manage continents.
Continents.
You love building high-performing websites, but you don't love...
From your island, you dictate shifts in influence. You move billions of dollars, you topple governments, and you install new ones. You host summits where leaders fly in from all over the world. They meet in secret. They plan wars, they plan peace, they plan the future, and the world has no idea. Billions of people live their lives completely unaware that you're pulling the strings. You decide which technologies get released, which ones stay hidden. You decide which famines happen and which ones get relief. You are playing a game with the entire planet as the chessboard, and you've never felt more powerful. But the police are closing in. The FBI, Interpol, they're building a case. Money laundering, human trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, but you're not worried. The Illuminati's connections will keep you safe. Senators, judges, agency directors, they're all on your payroll. You've been here before. You've survived interrogations. You'll survive this one too. Level 12, the Eye at the Peak. You engineer pandemics. You create resource shortages.
Holy shit, engineering pandemics is fucking wild.
You orchestrate disasters. A lab in China needs funding. You provide it. The research is dangerous, but it's necessary for the next phase. A virus escapes. Maybe it's an accident, or maybe it's not. The world shuts down. Economies collapse and governments seize emergency powers. You provide them with vaccine contracts, tracking systems, and digital currencies.
Holy shit, bro. That's low-key like some evil. I didn't even fucking think about that. You fucking, like, fucking COVID, bro. Like, you engineer COVID to happen. You release COVID out to the wild knowing that you have a fucking vaccine that can cure COVID, but you charge people for it, bro. That's fucking low-key. That's not a stretch. Bro, that's even like how people talk about like cancer, like 9 times out of 10, there's a cure for cancer, but they don't release a cure to cancer because it's such a fucking profitable industry. Fucking insane.
And you make sure to profit as much as possible from the crisis you've created. Billions of lives are disrupted and millions die, but the strategic goal has been achieved. Wealth is consolidated, power is centralized, control is tightened, but as you're sitting in your mansion, watching the news, you hear it. Sirens, helicopters, your security team is shouting. The front door explodes open. FBI, Interpol, US Marshals. Before long, you're in handcuffs, tossed into the back of a car. You're being arrested. Level 13, the Fallen Angel. You're in a cell. You're in the Metropolitan Correctional Center, Manhattan. Maximum security. You're not with the general population. You're isolated, protected. Your lawyers are the best in the world. They're filing motions. They're calling in favors. Judges are being contacted. Prosecutors are being pressured. You'll be out in weeks, maybe days. The trial will be a sham. The jury will be bribed. The witnesses will be threatened. You've seen this before. You've orchestrated this before. You're calm. You're confident. But then your cell door opens. It's not a guard. It's someone else. Someone you don't recognize. They're wearing a uniform, but something is wrong. They step inside and quickly close the door behind them. You start to
Oh shit.
speak, but they move fast. You don't have time to react. It's over. The Illuminati protects its own until it doesn't. You served your purpose. Now your time is up.
It's a fucking video on Jeffrey Epstein. Without saying, it's a video on Jeffrey Epstein. W's in a fucking chat for the fucking creator of Juno, bro.